Raja hated the Sakyas and ordered 500 Sakya maidens, hands and feet chopped off. This is Kuari Mafi, where 500 Sakya maidens, hands and feet were chopped off. Virudhaka Raja slaughtered 999 Sakyas and took 500 Sakya maidens in his harem. And when they refused to enter his harem, he got their hands and feet chopped off. This is Kuari Mafi, where this incident took place. How I came to this conclusion, please view this video till the end. Now that you have seen Lokna, where Virudhaka Raja saw the Buddha from a distance and then he interacts with the Buddha, resulting in him disbanding his army. But the unfortunate part is, after some time, he forgets his promise to the Buddha and he attacks the Sakyas and he slaughters 999 of them. Anyway, he takes 500 Sakya girls as his harem, for his harem. These Sakya girls, they refuse to join his harem and they make fun of his upbringing. They make fun of his blood, of his thing, because his father had been tricked into marrying a Shudra girl. So basically, they make fun of that. So, and he gets enraged and he orders his army to chop off their hands and feet and throw them into a ditch. So his army is very loyal to Virudhaka Raja. They chop off the Sakya females' hands and feet and throw them into a ditch. Now these females, their cries of pain is heard by the Buddha. So he sends one of his disciples with his robe to prepare them for their next life. To be born, first to prepare them for Tusita heaven, and then to be born as with a better life. So basically, the Buddha's disciple, he goes and he prepares them. He prepares them for for their next life. Folks, the local Brahmins, they collected those women's bones and made a stupa over it. That is Kuari Mafi. Kuari Mafi means the forgiveness of the virgins. See, forgiveness of the virgins. Those 500 Sakya females, by refusing to enter Virudhaka Raja's harem, they remained virgins. They remained virgins. And the forgiveness of the virgins, the sutras which the Buddha's disciple made them recite, cleansed them of all the sins they had committed in this life, so that they could be reborn with a better life in their next life. So that is forgiveness of the virgins. That's Kuari Mafi, folks. My Buddhist friends, don't forget to visit Kuari Mafi and pay homage to those 500 Sakya maidens. So folks, first check out what Zhang has to say, what he has written, and then I'll show you the place in satellite pictures so you can visit and pay homage to the place. And then you can see the pictures of the place itself. Thank you. Now let us see where Virudhaka Raja slaughtered 500 Sakya maidens. By the side of this place, by the side of which place he just now told us about the place where Virudhaka Raja saw the Buddha sitting on under a leafless tree, and he questions the Buddha, and the reply the Buddha gives, because he wanted to kill the Sakyas. The reply the Buddha gives, he disbands his army. Then looking at him with emotion, he disbanded his army and returned to his country. That was what do you call it, Lokna, which you have here, Lokna. Now, after that, Zhang says, by the side of this place, by the side of Lokna is a stupa. This is the spot where, when the Sakya Maidens were slaughtered, Virudhaka Raja, having destroyed the Sakyas in celebration of his victory, took 500 of the Sakya Maidens for his harem. The girls filled with hatred and rage said they would never obey the king and revile the king and his household. The king, hearing of it, was filled with rage and ordered them all to be slaughtered. Then the officers, obedient to the king's orders, cut off their hands and feet and cast them into a ditch. Then all the Sakya maidens, nursing their grief, invoked Buddha, the Lord. By his sacred power of insight, having beheld their pain and agony, bade a bhikshu take his garment and go to preach the most profound doctrine to the Sakya girls, viz. On the bounds of 5 desires, the misery of transmigration in the evil ways, the pain of separation between loved ones, and the long period distance of birth and death. Then the Sakya Maidens, having heard the instructions of Buddha, put away the defilement of sense, removed all pollutions, and obtained the purity of the eyes of the law. Then they died and were all born in heaven. Then Sakra, king of Devas, taking the form of a Brahmin, collected their bones and burnt them. Men of succeeding years have kept this record. So, after slaughtering the Sakyas, Virudhaka Raja, he takes 500 Sakya maidens, but the maidens refuse to enter his harem, and they revile him because of his low birth. So he is enraged, he gets his men to chop off their hands and feet. When the Buddha hears it, he sends a bhikshu and then to bhikshu who prepares them for their next life in heaven. So this is Lokna. Huen Tsang says, by the side of it, that is Kuari Mafi. Kuari means the virgin. Mafi means forgiveness. So Kuari Mafi means forgiveness of the virgins. See, these 500 Sakya maidens refused to enter the king's harem. So they remained virgins, and Mafi means forgiveness. So this is forgiveness of the virgins. This is the ditch in which the 500 Sakya maidens, their hands and feet were chopped off and thrown into this ditch. And this is the place where the bhikshu took a robe of the Buddha and he prepared them for their next life in heaven. So folks, check out the pictures of Kuari Mafi, where the 500 Sakya maidens died after the Buddha had prepared them for heaven.
Now folks, you have read what Zhang had to write about the slaughter of 500 Sakya maidens, and you saw how Zhang took us to the stupa where the 500 Sakya maidens' hands and feet were chopped off and thrown into a ditch. The story goes like this, that the Virudhaka Raja hated the Sakyas because they made fun of his lineage, etc. So he goes and he captures 999 Sakyas and he slaughters them. And he takes 500 Sakya maidens as for his harem. But they refuse to accept to enter his harem, making fun of his birth, low birth, etc. So when he hears about this, he is infuriated and he orders his army to chop off their hands and feet. The army is obedient to him and they chop off the Sakya woman's hands and feet. So the cries of pain reach the Buddha. The cries of pain reach the Buddha. He sends one of his disciples with his robe, prepare them for their next lives so that they are born in heaven. So the disciple goes and he preaches to them, to the 500 wailing Sakya women, on the bonds of 5 desires, on the misery of separation from loved ones, and the long period between birth and death, misery of transmigration in the evil ways. Now the Sakya woman heard Buddha's blessings and put away the defilement of sense and removed all pollutions and obtained the purity of the eyes of the law and were born in heaven. So this is what Kurwari Mafi means. They obtained the purity in the eyes of the law. See, what they did was they put away the defilement of sense. They put away the defilement of sense. They put away all the little sins they had done, the defilement of sense, and then removed all pollutions and obtained the purity in the eyes of the law. So this is what Kuari Mafi means. Kuari is virgin. See, they remain virgins because they refused to enter Virudhaka Raja's harem, and they remain virgins. And Mafi means to forgive them for the little sins they must have done in this life, and to purify them in the eyes of the law so that they are reborn in heaven. So folks, this is what Kurwari Mafi means. My Buddhist friends, this is an important place because this incident is one of the few incidents when the Buddha gets angry. This incident is one of the few incidents when the Buddha gets angry, and he predicts that within 7 days Virudhaka Raja is going to die. So folks, I hope you found this video educative. Don't forget to visit Kuari Mafi and pay homage to the 500 Sakya Maidens whose hands and feet were chopped off. The stupa, the village has settled on the stupa, thankfully, because it has kept the name alive so that I could catch the name in Google satellite pictures and go there and get these photographs. So thank your Zhang, and special thanks to Ashoka, who secured all these vague spots or vague Buddhist spots connected with the Buddha's life with stupas. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe to my page, Buddha Exude.